Hi, everybody. It's me, Aggie, and Shelly.
Shelly's here.
Hello, hello. Oops, my camera moved. I'm going to do the moving camera thing tonight.
We're gonna.
I'll just move that and on my canvas mount right here when we start painting. But hello, hello. Come on in and say hello to us. It's our Tuesday night live, and we are going to be painting with watercolor and just having a relaxing, fun time. I look forward to this.
I do too. It's so nice after a crazy day to just sit down, get out the watercolors, which are no mess, no fuss, no extras. You just sit down and spray them with a bit of water and go.
Oh, I need my spray bottle on that note.
Hi,
Yes,
Marcia.
yes, yes.
Marcia,
Who do we have here?
yeah,
Oh, I got to
Marcia,
show my comments.
Marcia, did you get your tracer, your new bonus tracer on a paper?
Hey, Marcia. Hello, hello. Look at this. I always have bruises. Oh, well.
I don't want to talk about bruises.
I know. Shelly had a mishap with her middle finger, and it's surprising how often we use our middle finger.
It's a large dog and middle finger mishap.
Yes. Let me get my spray bottle.
You'd be surprised how often with your left hand. I'm right-handed, so I always have a paper towel in my left hand, and every time that I'm like pinching out a brush, I cringe because it sends this sharp jolt of pain through my hand.
Oh, gosh.
It's awful. It's so
Oh,
bad.
sorry, Shelly.
Loading
Oh.
wood into the laser. The laser is busy right now.
I know, and thank you so much, everybody,
Very much.
for your orders. Hopefully, we're gonna have more of our members, our VIPs. I've never called them that, but I like that.
I like it too.
Deb Brown is in our membership, and she calls her members VIPs, and they are VIPs, right?
They are.
You did get it. Oh, awesome, Marcia. I loved your watercolor pumpkin that you painted. You're such a good painter. Very, very nice. So tonight we've got this bonus sketch. I'm going to have to hold it up this way that Shelly made. And it's so funny because I didn't realize it was 4x. It looks bigger than 4x6, but it is. It'll fit on, these watercolor cards that we've been using. So if you missed it, we're using a 9x12 sheet that we can cut into 4. And, that's a nice convenient pad size. Like here's you always want 100% cotton paper, and this is 140 pound. I think I got this on Amazon, and we can cut this into 4 pieces and get 4 single cards out of it or 2 folded cards out of it. What do you prefer, Marcia? Hey, Sylvia.
I'm glad that it fits because I was racing to get that thing to the website and so when you said it looks too big, I was like, oh dear Lord, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you, Shelly.
Please let it fit.
And even if it isn't, that's okay. I'm thinking maybe next week or one of these weeks, we're having so much fun with pumpkins, and it makes it so much easier on us to just have the same thing going. And it is pumpkin season.
It does.
Maybe we'll do half of a 9x12 sheet. What would that be? I don't have good math skills.
So 8 by 9?
Like we could do it half this way would probably be.
So 9x6.
Yeah, is that right?
I don't know. I'm awful at math in my head.
Yeah, this is 9. Yeah. 9x6. Yes. I guess that might be an odd. There's no frames that size, is there? No. But, or maybe we'll do a whole 9x12. We'll do a really big one.
That'd be fun too.
I want to do a pumpkin with sunflowers. Maybe we'll do a whole 9x12 sheet. Is that scary? I'm actually a little scared to do a whole full sheet. Marcia says I'm working with 9x12 paper and looking to matte frame 11x14. Yeah, there you go. That should work.
I think that the thing with a big sheet, and even what I'm finding, and part of it is the feeling crummy last week and not really being able to finish what I was doing. But with watercolors, I think it really is important to walk the paint around the like areas. So if you have a set of leaves, try to do all of the leaves and not just do them one at a time, because inevitably when you go back to try to do it again, your strokes are going to be a little bit different. How you load the paint is going to be a little bit different. And it's hard to kind of make it match again later. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I can show, this is the card that I did last week.
Oh, nice, Shelley. I really love it.
So the leaves that are over here were the leaves I started last week. This leaf is the leaf I started today.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just see your hand is a little bit different when you come back to it. And it's fine. I'll be able to keep working with it and pull them together. But if we can save ourselves a little bit of that, go back and make it work, that's always nice. Thank you, Marcia.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was beautiful. Yeah. And here's the two that I've done.
Yeah, see, yours are pretty similar. I started this one in my sketch notebook too.
Something's real crooked here. Oh, I love it. You've got a nice painterly style. I like it. Trying to get this all situated. All right, maybe that's pretty straight now. So I wanted to show you a couple things that we're gonna do maybe next week that I created for you guys. And I need to move this out of the way. Okay, so I made this palette template, if you will. It doesn't have to be, I named my document that for some reason, but at any rate, it's, this is the number of wells that I have on my palette. Let me grab it. So here's my actual palette. Is it going to fit?
Yeah, it kind of fits.
And I wanted to point out a little tip that you might want to do if you do this. Oops. Oh, shoot. This is just my eraser. If you do this, if you get the tubes and you decide to, get a, this is a aluminum palette. You don't have to get aluminum. You could use, they have a nice plastic one. I think I recommended that on our supply list that you can purchase on Amazon. And what you want to do is, we talked about it last week. I think I even showed how to squeeze the tube into the well and into the bottom of it, and just kind of go back and forth like that to get it down into the bottom as best you can. Let it dry overnight, maybe even get it to where it's almost completely dry. It might take more than it's humid here. It might take more than one day. But what you want to do is wet your finger, and you have to wet your finger. Wet your finger and press in to make a little divot in each mound, it makes it easier to use that way. And then wipe your finger off. You might even want to create a little finger painting with the excess paint that's going to be on your finger.
Fun.
And then let it totally dry. So I don't know how many spaces this is, but this will work for whatever palette. And you want to definitely swatch your paint. So Shelley has done hers already. I don't know if you have yours close by.
I do. I always have it close by.
Yeah. So you want to do that. Now, she did hers on watercolor paper. And you could certainly take this and trace this onto watercolor paper and do it if you want. And then there's just a little line there for you to write the names. It's really important that you write the names so that you know what color you got. Right? Because you're going to forget.
You're going to forget. Well, and at some point you may have multiple palettes that you're working from. So each time you open a new palette, it can be hard to remember exactly what's in that palette. I liked doing mine on watercolor paper because I thought it gave me the best, representation of what it was going to look like on my paintings. So that's how I
Yeah,
got
and you
mine.
might even be able to print this onto watercolor paper, depending on your printer. They can be a little bit ornery about that.
Yeah, some of
Or
them
you
like
could
the thick
certainly
and
use this
some
as a
not.
guide. Yeah, you can, trace it, whatever. If this is helpful to you, great. If not, that's okay too. But at any rate, I thought what we would do next week is do some triad studies. So it's basically taking 3 colors. Probably we'll start with primaries, a yellow, a blue, and a red, and put them in there and then see how they blend into each other and create secondary colors, put those in those swatches, and then try painting a full circle ring of all those colors blending into each other. It'll give you good practice.
Sounds like good practice. I've never done anything like that, so mine could look like mud.
Well, actually, but mud is beautiful. And of course, I'm also giving you a reference of Shelley's palette and my palette. And Shelley still has space to add more colors as she decides on more that she might want to add, or she might not. She might decide not to add any more colors, and that's totally fine. So here would be our primary triad. And when we're talking about primaries, it's not necessarily Hansa Yellow Light and quinacridone magenta for the red and ultramarine blue deep for our blue. It could be any yellow with any red with any blue, and change it up and see how those 3 primaries look together. So for instance, you might have an earthy primary triad using raw sienna as your yellow, because that's an earthy yellow. And maybe for the red, you would use burnt sienna instead of an actual red. And maybe for the blue, you would use Payne's gray. I mean, I don't know, see what happens when you put those 3 together, and so on.
That'd be a good reference to look back to when you're doing other paintings, to look
Yeah.
and see, I remember this color that I loved. What was that? So these are nice things to keep in a notebook.
And I know it's difficult to see, but then you would record the names of the 3 colors that you used. You'd put your yellow, your red, and your blue, and then we would mix some intermediary colors. This color in the middle would be the combination of the 3 primaries. And then we're going to do some more triads, not necessarily with primaries, maybe with 3 other colors. Maybe we would do, see, now I'm forgetting the name, when 3 colors are alongside of each other on the color wheel. And I just did that in my quick color palette guide. What are they called again? I hate it when I forget that. Of course, I don't have that document close by. Anyway, analogous, that's what it's called, analogous. 3 colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. Maybe we'll do 1 sheet of analogous triads.
Yeah,
What would it look like to do yellow, green, green, and green, blue, or something like that. And so just ideas, that's all. This is the original document. This packet is still available over on our website, thepaintersjourney.com. It's our free gift to you. If you don't have it, go get it. It's got some recommended supplies here. You certainly don't have to get all of this. And then it's got our tracers for these pumpkin cards in watercolor. And then it's got, I even priced out, these are the current prices of, on Amazon, of these Holbein 15 ml tubes, which is what I suggest you purchase. And again, here's the palette that I mentioned. It's only $8.99. One of the most important things of all, probably more important than anything else, is 100% watercolor paper. Don't waste your time with anything else. Yes, I do mention using the cheap stuff if you're really scared to death about wasting watercolor paper and you just want to do brush strokes, and you just can't use 100% cotton yet, then go ahead and get the Canson Excel watercolor paper from Michaels. It's got a blue cover to it. It's really cheap, but it's not going to give you the greatest results. And I think that's it. That's all I wanted to mention. If you were to buy all of these, you're talking about $175 to $225 just in the paints. It is a palette that will probably last you the rest of your life
It is,
if you're my age, you know. So, but you don't have to go that route. Marcia, I know you bought a really nice set. Yours seem really, really super nice. I think they're Arteza, right? Or something like that.
I can't remember what Marcia said.
So what do we want to do?
Let's paint.
This one?
Do you want to? I threw that at you, so I don't want to.
Yeah, I love it. I want to do this one.
I don't want
to do this one. So
let me turn my camera.
What you could do is trace this. And I like using, I have a light box, so I'm going to go grab my light box and I'll trace it on there. So if you don't have a light box, of course, it does say yes, Arteza. Yes, yes, yes. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
And probably on Amazon, right, Marcia?
Maybe Marcia's like me. I think I get everything on Amazon.
Yeah, me too. I love it. Okay, where's my light box? Here it is. I want to do one without sketching it at all, too. You know?
Yeah, I think I've done so many of these pumpkins at this point that I can probably think about them in my sleep. Yeah. I mean, and that's actually how this one came along. I just sketched it on my watercolor paper, and then I took a picture of it and pulled it into Procreate to make the tracer. Yes, it's so much easier for me, Marcia, just to get on Amazon and get it, because I go to stores thinking I'm going to find something and they don't have it in stock. It's just annoying. I
hate that when that happens.
I hate it. I realized after I taped this to my board that I probably should have taped it opposite, maybe putting the palette on the other side, but this is where we're at. So this is what I'm doing.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Whatever.
We went to a dude ranch. Was it a dude ranch? Well, it was a horse ranch once. And it was the funniest trip. And there was two ladies there together. And the one lady, no matter what we said, she kept on saying, whatever gets you through the night. I think she was having a few martinis or something.
She was feeling it.
She was getting through the night herself there.
I'm going to do something a little strange to start mine while Aggie traces hers. I'm going to come in and add shadows with blue.
Yeah.
And of course, choosing blue because it's the complementary of the orange that I'm going to be bringing in. I don't know if I love that particular shade of blue, but we'll go with it.
Well, you know, we could do a little color palette.
Yeah.
You could do a little color mixing first if you want to figure out your color palette. Oh, that's pretty. And that really is the true complement to orange, teal, isn't it? I think so. The other thing I thought we would do next week is, you know, when we're doing all those little triads and all that stuff, maybe we'll paint a pumpkin with one of the color triad studies that we do.
I think it'd be so fun just to kind of make yourself stay within that palette.
Yeah. Okay, so I drew it very lightly. And Marcia, do you like taping your watercolor paper down onto something? So you probably can't even really see this. Sorry, guys.
I didn't tape mine last week and I regretted it.
It's nice to have it taped down, isn't it?
Yeah, I fought with it last week.
What are you using to tape yours down onto?
So I actually stole a piece of the 1/8" Baltic birch from my.
That's funny. That is hilarious.
Don't tell my chief financial officer.
I know, right? It's our secret. Don't worry, it's our secret, Shelley.
My
No,
chief
he
financial
doesn't
officer.
watch these videos, does he?
I hope not. Maybe his mom does. Mom, if you're watching, don't tell him. She understands. She feels my pain, so she'll keep my secret with me. He actually walked into the workshop. I think it was last night. I was showing him, a problem that I have and something I want to fix in the wood workshop, and he walked in and said, "No, you can't have this space. It's mine." Like, but I'm working here.
Oh, you're taking over the whole place?
Yeah, he's like, "But this used to be my space." I'm like, "I'm sorry, babe."
I pretty much have taken over the entire house.
I think he feels that coming.
All right. Well, I really don't have these colors swatched. I kind of don't want to even touch this yet. Am I weird?
I
I'm going to use my
understand.
other palette. I'm a chicken. I'm going to grab my other palette.
Your art teacher would say, "Dive in and mess those puppies up."
I know.
I always kind of envy the nice messed up palettes. They kind of show that lots of things have been created.
So you're doing a blue pumpkin. Oh, I don't know why I love blue pumpkins so much.
I'm actually going to just use this blue as the shadow. I'm going to bring.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I might, things change as we start. It's like, I thought I was going to do an orange pumpkin, but I'm liking this. So maybe, we just kind of go with whatever.
I'm going to wet mine first. Wow, this.
Marcia, do you wet yours first? I kind of I like the backgrounds that are wet on wet, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I lose control of it if I wet the paper first.
Oh.
It's the control freak in me. I don't know. Marcia's doing a blue teal one. I kind of like the way this one is looking, actually.
I know, right? There's something about blue pumpkins. Even one of our members shared a whole bunch of pumpkins that she's doing, and I loved the navy one that Stephanie did. Did you see that?
I saw her. I was racing around to get this tracer in, so I only saw it for a second, but I did see. I liked her whole collection of different colors, and she's getting ready to go to a show, so it's really nice to have that kind of variety.
I think those are gold backgrounds too, gold metallic.
So you can kind of see in this pumpkin that I'm doing how the colors are kind of changing along the way. I've kind of got phthalo blue yellow shade, cerulean blue, and you can see, hopefully you can see, it's not showing up really good on camera, but over here it almost turns into kind of a yellow green, which is fun. So I'm just putting in the blues and then just trying to make sure I don't have anything that's too hard of an edge. Yeah, Marcia says she hasn't tried wetting the paper. I like the wet paper for those kind of muted soft backgrounds, but so much of watercolor is really about managing the wetness of your paper. And yeah. I'm more used to painting on the cheap paper.
Right.
So with this,
but it'll stay wet a lot longer, the cotton. That's what's so good about it.
So it's good, but it can also be a fight for those of us who have done more with the cheaper paper that dries faster. So it's you know, you just, whenever, if in doubt, you know, dry off your brush and mop up some of the wetness and go again. And it's funny, on the 130 pound and up paper, even after that color has dried, even for a day or two, you can go back in and still manipulate those colors.
Oh yeah.
When you add water to it. So I was having to apologize to Aggie because she didn't know that I was drawing this. So when she came in and saw that I had loaded another tracer, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to deal you a surprise.
And I don't know why you felt like you needed to apologize. I said, what did I say to you about that?
I think you said you appreciate my initiative.
Yes, I really do.
I was just trying to have something ready to go. And then Marcia and some of the ladies in the group were so sweet and said that they wanted my sketch. So I wanted to get it to them.
I'm glad you did. I love it.
Just a little squattier, pretty much the same kind of thing. I like the pumpkins where you can see these back bits. You know, you can see the other side.
Yeah, me too.
And our pumpkin stems that we sell at the website are perfect for this kind of a design. Of course, we wouldn't put the wood ones on watercolor, but if you were painting this in acrylic, this shape would be perfect for that. I'm going to go crazy and put some orange in here.
Yes, go crazy, girl.
Go crazy. So I'm going to go into the brilliant orange that I have, and I'm going to tone it down with some of that same blue that I already used in the shadow, just because I don't want it to be too primary. As I start to come in, I'll add a little bit of water just to dilute it down some. I don't want it to be, I want to go crazy, but not too crazy.
Oh, Charlie. Can you hear Charlie?
I can hear him. I'm waiting for my dogs to be like, whatever, Charlie. There they go.
So I'm taking him to the vet tomorrow.
Oh,
he's been miserable with, I don't know if it's allergies or what the heck it is.
Poor thing.
Yeah. But I was glad I'm able to get in tomorrow.
Charlie's not a big fan of the vet.
Not too much. Yeah, not too much. Oh, someone's at the door.
Someone's at your front door.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay,
So sorry.
that's all right. We'll just paint away. I always wonder what the what the dog language is when they hear it. Like, did Charlie just tell all of our dogs that somebody's at the door and everybody has to join in?
I'm back.
Yay!
Oh, those colors look nice together.
Did you get a delivery?
Yes. I don't know why Mark didn't get it, but I figured I would. Oh, I'm sorry. Odin has joined the barking too. I'm sorry. Ay.
We were talking about wondering if the dogs have some kind of a language that they can hear, and they've translated that Charlie was telling them that somebody was at the door.
You know what I don't understand is how does Charlie know that it's a girl dog when it's like, a block away or even 50 feet away?
Yeah, I think
If
that
it's a boy dog, he barks at it. If it's a girl dog, he kind of whimpers and moans.
Yeah. That's so funny. A guy down the street has a couple of, I don't even know what they are. Maybe like a Lhasa Apso kind of, little pug nose cutie dogs.
Uh-huh.
But we've always called, ever since Dasher's been a puppy, we always call them the girls. And so when they go by, Higgins barks his head off, but Dasher does that whimper whine at them. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how they know, but they seem to know.
I don't know how Charlie is, but Dasher has an amazing sense of smell.
Yeah, I think Charlie does too. And it's amazing what they can hear.
Dasher more often barks at something he smells than even something he hears or sees.
Interesting. So I'm not even really explaining what I'm doing at all here, but I'm just, I mixed up like a yellow green, and now I'm just gonna add a darker cool green. Of course, see, I don't know what color this is that's on the palette.
It's some kind of pretty green. I'm adding a little bit of the burnt umber and burnt sienna to my brilliant orange, just to add in a little bit more of the shadow coming around that side. This pumpkin is a complete experiment.
It's a big box of stuff my husband ordered.
Gosh, we got so many deliveries today. That packing stuff for shipping boxes, another type of shipping box to hold the bigger woodcuts like the Sunny Pumpkins and the Witchy Shoes were pretty big. The Santa that we're doing is going to be pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
That mystery
Yeah, I'm
Santa.
excited about our Santa.
He's so cool.
I'm really getting into this.
So fun to just get into it and paint.
I mean, I feel like I'm really rusty with watercolor, so you know, we're going to be doing some watercolors on the retreat. We're having a little retreat in November down in Florida, and you know, I want to be able to offer something valuable as far as, you know what I mean?
It's they're different. It's a whole different beast. You really have to change your way of thinking a little bit. It's
Right.
It's quite different than the acrylic paints that we're usually doing. Can't wait to see Marsha's teal pumpkin. I feel like maybe I should have left mine teal, but I always feel like the bigger pumpkins need to be orange. I did do that, the jeweled pumpkin today in blue, and I love it.
Yeah, it looked really nice. Marsha, are you painting any pumpkins?
Besides this one. Oh, I forgot that I did draw some winners from the first two
Oh, yeah.
lives that we had. Let me see where I wrote those down. We picked 3 winners for the water brushes from the first live that we did, and 3 winners from the second live that we did. And we're having trouble finding our comments on the random pickers. So I wrote down everybody who commented water brush. And for the first night, Andy Barb, Becky Dugan, and Cindy Franklin are the winners. And
Yay!
from the second one, our second live, which was last week, we have our Marsha and Jane and Lori Olson. So
Yay!
Marsha says she has her Halloween tree up and trimmed. I need a Halloween tree. I'm really bad. Here's
this is what I'm going to be sending out to the winners. You just need to what should I have them do? Comment here and DM me your address.
Yeah.
So I just need you to acknowledge that you saw this. And then I will send this to you.
Yay.
I'm getting messages.
I think we're getting new group messages from the Star Seller group.
Oh, okay. I forgot to turn my notifications off.
I should put up a Halloween tree. Here's how I decorate.
Ooh.
Marcia said she has her Halloween tree up. I know Marcia's so good with the Halloween decorations. I decorate for Halloween, and then I leave up just the pumpkins until November 1st. And then the Christmas tree goes up. So usually by November 1st, I'm putting the Christmas tree up. So I don't have very much, I don't do very much in the way of Thanksgiving decoration. I kind of jump from Halloween right to Christmas. But it takes so dang long to put up the Christmas tree. So I like to have it up and enjoy it. But we've got new furniture this year. So where our tree usually goes isn't available.
Uh-oh, what are you going to do?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm kind of freaking out about it a little bit.
Huh.
No idea.
You'll come up with something.
I'll have to come up with something. I liked it where we had it before, but now that's where my big chair is by the fireplace. So yeah. So look at Aggie like catching up with me. I was painting when she was still getting her design on, and now I'm behind already.
No, you're not. There's no such thing.
Such a slow painter. How are you doing on yours, Marcia?
I've kind of discovered that from all these paintings of pumpkins, it's like you have to pick which side of the pumpkin lump are you painting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Pick a side and just paint that. Right?
Yep. And then pull it all together in the end.
The pumpkin lump. She's starting the vines and leaves now.
Ah! That's all right. I'll just be the slow one. I'm okay with that.
These are fun to paint.
They are fun to paint. I'm having much more fun this week than last week, I have to say.
Last week you were, both, I mean, I was not doing well either.
Oh man. You know, you don't realize how bad you were feeling until you feel better.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh man, I was feeling crummy.
Is Jeff home yet from his flight?
So Mr. Jeff is in trouble when he gets home.
Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding. He's really not in trouble. But he sent me this picture. So my husband works for a company that owns lots of senior living facilities. And so he was visiting a senior living facility today that they're going to be doing some work on. Anyway, he sends me this picture of the sweetest lady who is got the biggest smile on her face with Jeff's. I'll share the picture in our messenger. You have to see the picture with Jeff smiling ear to ear, this lady smiling ear to ear, and he said, "Look at my new friend." And you know, of course, I had to play the jealous wife and be like, "You tell her to get her mitts off my husband." Anyway, she's so sweet, so cute. Obviously, was having a great time. My husband is very gregarious. He's very he can make a friend with anyone. So I'm sure that they were, you know, having a good time with lots of fun and jokes and stuff. So so she had a handmade quilt on her bed that he also took a picture of, which ordinarily wives wouldn't love to get a picture from their husband of
some lady's bed. It's kind of funny.
I just cracked up. It was so funny.
It is kind of funny.
Oh man.
Well, that's, you know, I kind of look forward to that age where, I mean, I think I'm basically already there, where there is no kind of innuendo about any of that kind of stuff anymore. It's like we're just humans. There's no.
Oh, I don't know. I saw the look on her face, and she was giving my husband the eye for sure.
Really?
She was peppy and
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. Bless her. Good for her. If I was her, I'd be giving him the eye too.
Funny.
They were clearly having a good time. It's pretty funny. I think I'm gonna start getting. I might put. I feel like I need to start to see the stem on it to see what I want to add to my pumpkin, but I have the pumpkin kind of all at the same spot. So if I want to come back in, I'll be able to do that equally across. So is Charlie still just licking a lot? Is that what he's?
His eyes look really like there's a lot
Oh,
of, you know,
yeah,
crusty drainage around his eyes, and
poor thing.
he's still licking, and he's not having a good time.
This
You
seems
know,
miserable.
I
Yeah.
was really hoping that he seemed like he was getting better, but you know, his eyes just look bad.
Oh,
You know, it's
poor
weird. I
thing.
don't know. This never just came out of nowhere.
So now that I have all my colors in, I'm going to kind of go over these seams with just almost clear water just to kind of push everything together a little bit. Let's do some stems. color did you start with for your stem, Aggie? Do you know?
It was like a weird yellow green, a muted yellow green.
So I was working down here the other day, and I heard the faucet upstairs turn on. You know how you can kind of tell, it's a different sound when the faucet turns on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm the only one here, and what the heck is going on? It's like the second time in the recent past where I've been freaked out by a sound upstairs. Turns out it was the concrete guy.
Oh.
So there was someone here, but he wasn't
Oh my
dangerous.
goodness.
But so I was down here with the dogs, of course, and you hear something when the dog also raises his head.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Validation.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. There really is something going on upstairs. So I think the important thing with my little sketch here is going to be bringing the stem past that mark of the pumpkin, just so it doesn't create kind of a tangent line right there.
Oh, yeah. Just layer it.
Yeah, just kind of pull it down in a little bit. Don't let it end right at that exact line.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of control here with this.
You didn't end yours right at the line. You did good. Dasher boy. Hey, Dasher. Oh, were you Dasher or Higgins? Yep, you're Dasher. I couldn't tell right away. I was like, which one are you?
I'm making all kinds of blooms on here and stuff.
I like it.
I think I have to paint several of these to kind of get it down, That's how I am with watercolor. I have to kind of do it for a few days, and then it just starts becoming, I don't know.
I think that is the other hard thing about watercolor too. Even more than any other kind of painting, when you start, it's a mess. And I've talked to Aggie a lot about this. I'm awful about losing control of a painting like that. I don't like for it to get to be, to that mess part. So, with watercolor, you do kind of just have to trust the process a little bit. Lori says she's digging the painting and the dog talk. Such a new painter. I don't have anything to contribute, just soaking it all in. Yeah, there are so many times where I start a painting and feel like I'm a new painter too. It takes you just kind of dive in until you start to get the feel of it, and then like I said, just kind of trusting the process. And I think that
I dipped my hand in the bottom of my pumpkin.
I think that the thing about painting is that oftentimes people give up too soon. They feel like it's a mess, and it's, they're not gonna be able to bring it together, and they give up, and they were like so close.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think you're right. Because it's the failures that teach you. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's true.
If you're not failing, you're not learning. I love that saying, and I think it is so true. And when you start to think about things that way, then you start to celebrate the failures that you have and understand that, you know, even though that didn't maybe go exactly the way you wanted to, you're better for that time spent with the brush and the paint. So, Lori, if you're a new painter, um, I hope you'll grab a few watercolors at least and just sit down with it. The live that we're going to do next week, just practicing in, you know, putting some colors and mixing some colors would be such a good thing for you to start with. You don't have the pressure of trying to create an art piece. You know, it's just filling in some color circles and seeing how colors play together. And also, the 30-day butterfly challenge that we have in the group, there's a lot of great watercolor in that class. And, you know, some smaller pieces that I think are are attainable. I can hear that Higgins is getting into trouble, so I'm going to go grab whatever he's stealing, which is probably my swimsuit. And I'll be back in a second. I just hear a bump, bump, bump.
It's kind of funny. I'm going to turn this upside down. Sometimes it's just, you can't reach where you need to reach, you know?
It actually wasn't my swimsuit this time.
Well, what was it?
He had the washcloth from the bathroom.
Oh, isn't it funny how they love washcloths?
He's so ornery. I caught him with a towel yesterday, and I said his name, and he like just froze with it over his face. He was like, "What? I'm not me. I'm not doing anything wrong." He is so rotten. Andy says she's only done a couple of watercolors. Sometimes I feel like I overdo it and I don't know when to stop and walk away from it when I should. Andy, I think that it's a common problem with all paintings, whether it's watercolor or acrylic or oils, whatever you're doing. It is hard to know when it's enough. I just try to always be assessing as I'm painting. Did what I just painted help or not? And if what I just painted didn't help, then I know it's time to at least assess it, you know. And I talked to Aggie a lot about spending time with my paintings. I'll actually take them up to my kitchen counter and just look at them, just kind of spend some time, you know, because you'll grab a little glimpse of it as you walk by in the kitchen, and you'll think, "Ooh, you know, I don't really love this part, or I don't really love that part." So, you know, don't be afraid to stop on watercolor, especially like I talked about before. Try to leave it all at the same spot. In other words, like Aggie's painting right now, where she has all 4 of the leaves based in. She could walk away from that now and come back and add some things in without, you know, if she only had 2 leaves done over here, it'd be hard to come in and do the leaves on the other side and make them go together.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've already overworked the leaves, but
I feel like
I could come back in and paint this, but then I realized maybe it looks better that it's not completely done. It kind of has a interesting little something to it, not having a perfect line right there.
Mhm. Well, and you know, that's I think the other thing with watercolor, it really changes a lot as it dries. So it's kind of good when you've got it to a point, you know, to just really let it fully dry, see what the colors look like, and then come back in and add more. Lori says, thanks for the encouragement. I love being able to watch the videos and classes and learn when I have time outside of my career. I'm so glad, Lori. There are so many amazing classes, and spending a little bit of time on some of these, you will be amazed at how just a little bit of practice elevates what you're able to do very, very, very quickly. I'm going to start on some leaves because I feel like Mars is ahead of me, you're ahead of me.
Well, I mean, don't compare, just enjoy what you're doing.
I know, but last week I was behind the whole time because I didn't realize what we were doing even, but you know, again, it felt crummy, but I think watercolor, the fun part about it is really sneaking up on it, kind of laying some color around the edge, mopping some color up. I always have the the dirty paper towel in my hand that I'm, you know, daubing off the brush, grabbing more water. That pigment goes a long way, especially when you know, if you have good watercolors, you can really drag the pigment around. And I should say good watercolors, and as Aggie mentioned, good paper. You know, just a little bit of pigment, you can kind of quickly fill in an area and then build the colors that you want. So I'm going to follow my own advice and base in all of the leaves at the same time so that I kind of have a consistent-ish. I'm not looking necessarily for all the same color, but just kind of the same style of how much I've, you know, based in the painting.
I'm just getting into this.
You can tell when Aggie's into it because she's quiet. Aggie's starting on another one. Oh, you're doing a freehand one?
Yeah, we'll see.
I like it.
We'll see how it goes.
I like it.
I mean, if you've got one to look at right next to it, it you know, it kind of helps.
Especially if they're like the same size like those are. It's one
Yeah.
of the great things with references. If you can have a reference the same size as what you're painting, it's a little bit easier to follow that. I wish I could show all of where I'm mixing paint, but it's just too
Show
hard.
what now?
All of my palette where I'm mixing the paint, it's just too hard to get everything in the
I know I can't make it fit either. I don't even have it on the right side. I mean, I guess I could make our screens wider, but I kind of don't have room right here. I normally like to have my palette here to the right.
I know, that's what I was
But
thinking.
my canvas stand is right here, my camera stand.
The nice thing about if you're watercoloring is to try to make sure that your water cup isn't in an area where it's going to splash down on your painting. Last week I had my water cup over to the right side, so I was like, coming across the painting a lot, and I was ending up with lots of little drips and issues. So you do kind of want to strategically place where things are. I feel like my paints are drying so fast.
My pumpkin keeps getting bigger and bigger.
That's another thing with any kind of painting. You kind of, if you're drawing something on, draw it a little bit smaller than you think, because it is
Yeah.
going to grow a little. It's much easier to have it grow than it is to reduce it. Andy's been busy today doing great things. I'm so proud of all the things you're doing, Andy.
Yeah, it's not easy. Going on social media and representing yourself as an artist and,
Yeah.
kind of, it's like, how do you really sell stuff? Well, it's really just building relationships. So we've got a little sellers group that we're just kind of all, I don't know, helping each other.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping that we're going to be able to share what we've done. So, today I know that Andy did a couple of reels. I did a reel. We're doing, we're sharing some TikToks and things like that. And we'll be able to, come into our little group and talk about the things that work and maybe the things we didn't see as much from as we hoped. And we'll all learn together.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have the encouragement. It's so nice to know that you have a safe place to go, share what you're doing, share what you're trying, share what your fears are, even, you know?
Yeah. I think it's really important to have someone that you can talk to about that,
Yeah,
because it's just very hard in a vacuum doing it alone.
very much.
And it's just very easy to let fear just really hold you back and overtake you and all of that stuff.
I think in watercolors, I love some of the sword brushes and the cat tongue brushes, but I really feel like I could live on just the round brushes.
Yeah, probably.
I'm a brush hoarder. I love, I don't know, there's something that makes me so happy about reaching into a great big full thing of brushes. I feel, I don't know, I get this sense of comfort from all of my brushes, but I'm always reaching for the rounds in watercolor. In acrylics, lately, I'm loving the filberts mostly. But
I think I like these loose leaves much better.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
yeah, I like them.
They're a lot easier to paint, I'll tell you that much. It's just a couple strokes, you know.
Yeah,
And really, when you look at, if you go look at some pictures of sunflower leaf, I'm sorry, I got sunflower on the brain.
I know. I was doing that last week.
Pumpkin leaves, they're stem, it's a lot of stems, and they just look like stems pointing up and just, you know, flouncy, wide stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
think
think I
that's
like the freehand. I
yeah.
like I like the freehand. And you know, what I want you to know is when you see the people on YouTube and all over social media doing these amazing reels of these, you know, they've probably been painting that thing
Mhm.
hundreds of times. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, Shelley, that looks so glowy and light and warm. It has such a nice feeling to it.
I really like it. I'm going to go back in and do a little bit of stem work once the leaves dry, but and a little bit more detail in the stem to bring in some darks, but you know, I think it's and even like I feel like the camera doesn't really you know fully capture kind of how cool it is. I had a water drip try to get me.
No.
No. I've been doing pretty good with water drips today, and then all of a sudden one snuck in.
No water drippies.
I love these watercolor brushes that they just they collect so much. You dry the brush out and you can kind of mop things up. So cool.
It's fun to mix like a magenta-ish red with a brown.
Oh, that's like wow, wow orange. It's so pretty.
Yeah,
Very pretty.
getting a little crazy now.
I like it. I've got so many little piles of green on my palette now that I can't remember what is what. Sometimes it's nice to be able to reuse what's on your palette. Other times it starts to make me crazy and I just want to clean it off and start all over. And all of these little mix spots. Let me pull my palette over. All my little bits of different kinds of green. You start to forget.
No, those are good. You can just use that till the cows come home.
I know, but I forget what they are, and then I dip into something that's especially the light. I need better light all the way around, but
Oh, do ya?
it looks pretty good on camera, but here in person, it's just a little dark. Thank you, Andy. You're so sweet. Higgins is going to help all the dogs start to bark.
Higgins Bark Club.
Higgins Bark Club. Of the two, Higgins is the barker for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. Our new thing is we ask him if he wants a spray. So we have these the little air canisters that you use to like spray off your keyboard or dust.
Yeah. Oh boy, he likes that?
Oh, he hates it.
Oh, it scares him.
It doesn't really scare him. He just doesn't want it. So we say, do you want to spray? He's like, no. Okay, I'll be quiet. All right.
He'll run away, right?
Yeah, he just kind of freezes. He's just like, all right, no, I don't want that.
Oh heck no, I don't want that.
It's so funny. He knows. Just as we were getting ready to come down here, I asked them if they want to go teach a class. And so they're both standing at the top of the stairs, like, yeah, I want to go teach a class. Fun. They're so intuitive. It's crazy the words that they know.
They really do have a vocabulary. My friend Monica taught me that.
Yeah, I studied once. I was doing some behavior studying, and I read that they have the vocabulary of a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, 4-year-olds can have a pretty amazing, way of understanding the language already. So it's pretty amazing the things that they know. But I also know that they have selective hearing. Sometimes I know that they're exactly aware of what I mean, but they choose not to listen.
Right? I agree.
You especially know with Higgins because he gets that look on his face. You know, he just he thinks he's fooling us, but we're on to him.
We're on to you, Higgins.
He's an ornery one. It's funny to hear the notifications on both sides.
Sorry.
It's funny. Yeah, Andy, Higgins knows very well what I want him to do. The question is he going to decide to do it? And they're big enough that, you know, pretty much they don't do anything that they don't want to do.
It's like, yeah, that's not happening.
That's not what I had in mind. Thanks.
I know you want me to do that, Ma, but that's not happening.
The guys were pouring we have a section of our driveway that we're replacing. They're finally pouring concrete today. And I took both the dogs out on a leash because, of course, the last thing that I want is my giant fluffy dogs in this concrete. But the workers
Right?
both looked over like, you're
Uh-oh.
gonna, yeah, like you're really gonna keep that dog over there. These dogs that weigh as much as you do. Yep, I got him. Trust me. I kind of like it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do any more. I feel like my pumpkin needs a little bit more orange, but I also feel like if I make it more orange, I'm gonna run the risk of not liking it.
The heck is going on my phone? I'm getting a little crazy with mine. Maybe a lot of crazy.
I need to look up and see how crazy you're being. No, I looked up and it was upside down. I was like, "Well, you are being crazy," but it was the upside down view.
I'm sorry, I'm not very vocal.
That was me last week. You kept saying, "Are you there, Shelley?"
It's kind of a luxury to not talk.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm here."
While doing this.
Just
Thank you, Shelley, for being the voice.
We're good about that. We seem to do that well for each other. When one isn't, the other is, so it's fine.
Okay, this might be an example of overpainting. Maybe not. It's right at that point. Yeah. Which one's your favorite?
I really like it. I like the different feel of it. It has a different, almost a, I know stencils aren't your favorite, but it has almost a stencil.
Oh no, I don't want to
I
do
like
it.
that though. I knew you wouldn't,
You
but
know what? You know what I could do too is come back in with never get everything straight. With a marker or a gold paint pen or something like that.
yeah, and even like even just doing a wash over the white areas in between just to
Yeah, like this is just too harsh.
yeah, but I mean it's fine. It's
But it's so wet I can't really
no,
go
yeah,
over it right now.
you have to wait, yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to the vet at 11.
Poor Charlie.
Here's my palette.
Yeah, Andy's saying
Somebody's burning leaves. Oops, sorry.
she likes how you turn your palette. You're much better at turning. I even when I was painting on the little wood substrates earlier, I was like, turn the palette crazy. And I think that that's part of when you know painting on Procreate. I can just turn it with my finger. I never actually turn.
Oh yeah.
So I have to like remind myself, yes, you can turn it. It's fine.
See, now I just want to paint more loose ones like this. I kind of like that.
It's fun to do different things.
And you know what? I want to show you guys a different kind of pumpkin. Oh my goodness. You know, so in case you're watching and you don't know the kind of stuff we normally do, this is acrylic painting on a wooden panel. And it's I even used some metallic paint in there. I don't know if you could really see it, but there's just a little bit of mica going on in there. It's not really picking up on the camera right now.
I can really see it on the wood stems.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. And then we embellish it with glass. This is like some of this is table scatter from Hobby Lobby, these cute little pumpkins, and base fillers from Michael's that you can buy in the floral department, fire glass, like what people use for their fire pits outside, and seed beads. And it just all comes together to be it's so much fun. It's so gratifying to embellish. I started embellishing, you know, with just paper mixed media and adding things like that probably 10 years ago. My heart just started to want to add things on top of my paintings, you know?
It's so much
And
fun. I
I,
did one of those today too.
yeah.
Because honestly, I'd seen everybody else doing pumpkins, and I'd been so busy with um, with the laser and all of that stuff that I just wanted to carve out some time to actually paint.
I'm
And
glad you did.
getting the glass out and putting little bits of glass on the piece, trying to find little things. I realized today that I don't have nearly enough silver baubles to put on. You know, I needed more. I wanted some chunky silver stuff, but you know, we kind of accumulate little bits of things that we can use. I don't have those. I was wishing I had those
Well,
today.
this is table scatter from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
And if you do want this, you better go grab it now. Lori Brown says the glass has my heart. It has my heart too. I know. It's so The sparkle is so pretty. I was thinking that should be our, I think I did kind of come up with a tagline on a couple of marketing things I've said. What was it? Something about adding sparkle to the world or something.
Yeah,
We just want
yeah.
to add more sparkle to the world.
I don't know about you, Lori, but to me, there's something about dropping those bits of glass and um, arranging them and finding just the perfect spot for them. It's a little bit like a puzzle and a board game all, all at the same time. I love the sound. I know that sounds crazy, but I love the sound of the glass hitting,
You've said
down on
that
the
so many times.
I
Yeah.
really do. It makes me happy. I don't know what it is. It's just, oh, it just makes me so happy. I've caught myself almost doing that a number of times. That's why it's good to have the paintbrushes in it, so you don't drink your watercolor water.
Yum. No.
Delicious.
It's like a special kind of tea. No.
It didn't look very appetizing. It was like
No,
it was like a green matcha.
I don't know. I think this was just a little too. It kind of looked better before I did that. So sometimes I'll do this. I'll just do that, and yeah,
See what you think?
yeah. That was. I just went a little too far.
I mean, that's part of the deal.
Oh,
I
that
think
looks so good, Shelley.
it needs a lot more orange. It doesn't have nearly. It needs some orange in it. But Lori says, Shelley, is your glass placement planned or random? Yes, and yes. It's
What day is it?
I like putting the glass down and trying it, and then I'll think, well, maybe it needs a little blue, so I'll put a tiny piece of that in just to how does that look? How do I feel about that? If I don't like it, I take that out, put another piece in. Sometimes things just fall into place and you go, look, you're home. You landed exactly where I want you to be. So I think that the thing with this kind of art really is a lot like watercolor. You have to loosen up a little bit, let some things happen. My big thing when I started was using too much glass. One of the first pieces I did was that the lantern snowman. And I sent a picture to Aggie and I said, oh my God, I hate it. What have I done? And she said, you got too much glass on it, crazy. I said, oh, took some glass.
It's funny how the first few times it's like you just have no idea how much resin to put on.
Yeah.
You feel so lost.
Well, and we
Right?
watched you do it, and I had watched that video a number of times. It looked like a ton of glass. And so, here I am piling on this glass. And then Aggie's like, girl, that stuff costs a lot of money to take some of that
I don't
off.
even remember that anymore.
Yeah.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, but it was the perfect advice that I needed, and I started taking some of it off, and then I was like, the angels sang. It looked so much better, and so it's a lot like painting. It's just a matter of practicing, trying things out.
I forgot what I wanted to say was, got to get my plug in. Oh, I got something here. I don't know what that is.
Some glitter.
Yeah.
You're sparkled.
A little sparkle on my face even. So, did you notice the stem on the pumpkin that I showed you? It's, so the glass and resin artists in our, it's a special little community. We kind of all wind up seeing each other's stuff, especially if you put anything on Pinterest. I mean, I've had a lot of people kind of copy my art on Pinterest, and it's a little bit disheartening because you shouldn't do that. And if you buy our classes, you have permission to copy my art, but you don't have permission if you haven't bought the class. So,
Right.
But anyway, these stems are wood cutouts. That's what I used on that piece. And in our little community, everybody loves doing pumpkins, right? On like a square substrate, the glass and resin pumpkins. And it's really awesome if you can find glass stems, but guess what? They're very hard to find. So we came up with this. I forget whose idea it was, doesn't matter, but this is the solution. If you can't find a twisted glass stem, the glass blowers make them. This is bugging me. Let me just do this. The glass blowers, when they blow a glass pumpkin, how do they do that stem again? It might be a separate piece. Do you remember, Shelley? I've seen glass blowers.
They just twist it. They just twist that hot glass and then they use the nippers to cut it off.
It is so beautiful.
It is really so beautiful. What I have found in even trying to make some pieces like that, I have some glass stems, but I always worry because I ship many of my pieces. Most of my pieces are ordered and shipped. So I always worry about those in shipping. That it's very rare to find one that exactly fits the way that you want it to fit.
And then it's sticking up quite a bit and it's a nightmare. Well, it's not a nightmare to ship, but you have to be really careful with packing it really well.
I just think the wood stems add a real nice warmth to the piece. The stems on a pumpkin are wood-ish, anyway, so it kind of feels more natural. It's much more stable. The piece that Aggie was just actually both pieces. So there you can see the stack piece. There's each set that's purchased has 3 full sets. So you get 3 of the base of the stem, 3 of the top layer of the stem, and then 3 of the curlicues there. That's a full set.
Is this the full set? It's 1, 2, 3. If I can do this.
So the one that you have, the top one that you're holding up is one of the first trial ones that I sent you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. No, but Aggie gets the test cuts. So what's offered in the store
the complete set?
Yeah. So you get to choose either the standard, which is the top one that Aggie is holding, or the curly, which is the bottom one. And then you get to choose whether you like it in a 6-inch. So that just means it's made to fit a 6x6-inch pumpkin, or they come in the 8-inch, made to fit an 8x8-inch pumpkin.
But I want to point out, I messed up. I made a mistake and I used the stems for the 8-inch pumpkin on this 6-inch pumpkin, and it worked. Absolutely. Because I have squatty pumpkins.
Absolutely.
It's a personal problem.
You can, that's the great thing about these. You draw your pumpkin after you set your stem on your substrate, draw your pumpkin around it. They're very versatile. They work really well. I really love them. They're very popular. The machine is cutting them all the time. Every time I could get a free second, the laser is cutting.
And I'll show you them on the website super quick. Let me just share my screen. Is this going to work?
You never know with technology. It's always hard.
So here we are on our website, thepaintersjourney.com. And right here under the wood cutouts tab, pumpkin stems and leaves. So there it is. They're $15. Very much worth every penny. It makes it so easy to do these. So it's standard stem or curly stem, 6x6 or 8x8.
I think the 8x8 are a little bit more. Is that right? If you click on the 8x8,
I'm sorry. Yeah, the 8x8s are, I'm sorry. Good. Thanks for pointing that out. We're 17.
Yeah.
And there's a little video that I added, of how it looks.
And so just to point out also, all the prices on the website include shipping. So that's $17 to your door if you get the 8x8s. So it's just easier for me to make everything include shipping rather than, worry about it shipping to different places. So
did I stop sharing my screen? I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. There's the 2 different sizes. And I'm sharing it because there's so many of us in this glass and resin art community that may not know about this, may not even know about the website and all the fantastic cutout designs that we are designing and putting up there every day.
And of course, our Tuesday Night Live links are there. So all the Tuesday Night Lives that we've done have their own tab, and you can grab any of the tracers or the information or the links to those wood cutouts. So it's a great resource for lots of different things.
Yeah, and I mean, we enjoy teaching. We're both instructors for the membership. This is to give you a sampling of our teaching style. This is kind of really laid back what we're doing here. We have our act a little bit more together in the membership, and we've got a lot of guides and PDF files and, you know, more constructed content, if you will, more structured content. There are over 200 classes in the membership right now.
200 amazing, amazing classes. Whether you are just whether you're just starting out or we have quite a few seasoned artists who are amazing painters who love the classes too. You get the tracers, so you don't have to know how to draw. You can use the tracers to do your paintings. And then you get truly step-by-step, very, very, very detailed information on how to make each of the pieces that we offer. So it's
and if you'd like to get a better glimpse of what the class is like, we have shared, let's see, where have we shared those? We have shared, like now that we've got StreamYard, we can go into the classroom and kind of show you a little bit in the classroom of the content that's in there, and click on some of the videos to give you a taste of, you know, exactly what it's like. We've done that with several classes. I want to do it this week on the one that we just finished up too. So
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, that'll be coming. Shelly and I will just have another conversation. We'll take you into the classroom. We'll show you some of the things. We'll show you some photos, and you can ask questions, you know, if you want to just get a better idea. So yeah, we're always doing that.
The links to the membership are on the website as well. So you can join either monthly or join the annual plan, and you get 2 months free when you join the annual plan. So that's a great deal. And it's a full year of us with all of the classes that are in the vaults, all of the classes that are coming up that we will be doing, along with the Procreate classes that I teach. And Aggie has some classes in there too. Come here, Aggie. And the Etsy classes. So we really try to give you like everything that you need in, you know, to be a successful seller. And we believe that anybody who's creating art should be selling it on some level. you know, it's
right from the beginning. I think it's a great idea to start selling right away. And if you are really new, we know you don't have the confidence to do it. You need to be in a community of other artists that have been there and done that can help you. You need to be able to show something that you're working on. Okay, what do I need to do to this? And he's, you know, and that's what we do every single day. Every single day we are answering those questions and helping you and you know, helping you build your confidence and pushing you just a little bit to take the next step, because you may as well be selling. If you're not selling, the other artists out there are going to be selling. You know,
if you're passionate about it, somebody out there is going to want to buy it. So sell your stuff, even if you do it, you know, small scale on your Facebook page. Just sell your stuff.
Oh, thanks, Andy. Andy says it's an awesome group. She's learned so much already, and it's worth every cent and truly more. Yeah, and right now it's still $37 a month. We're probably going to be raising that soon. I don't know. We'll see. But the advantage of going monthly is you can cancel anytime if you need to. So there's no obligation. It's not a contract or anything like that. If something comes up and you just, you know, need to cancel, you can cancel because it's monthly. With the annual plan, the advantage to taking the annual plan is that you get 2 months free, you know, so instead of it being whatever 37 times 12 is, it's 370 for the year, which is, again, a really incredible deal, considering that now you get training in Procreate and Etsy. So you can literally be a full-blown artist in a matter of months. Seriously.
And if you are a full-blown artist, you're still going to get lots of great ideas, inspiration for some amazing pieces that are going to sell well for you. So I really
too. They're tried and true sellers. They really are.
I really feel like it's a group for everyone. We're here for you.
And we even do watercolor. I love acrylics, but I love watercolor too.
I think that watercolors are they're just so fun to, I can take them up even into the living room when I just want to doodle a little bit and play with them. They're not messy. I don't have to worry about anything happening with them. They're just so fun to take wherever you're going. So
yeah, it's a great summer thing, really. I wish I had done more this summer.
I've heard you say that, and I think that that's cute. I can see why you think that. I really like them all the time, just because they're just
versatile
so easy.
and easy to set up. Yeah.
You don't have you don't have to open 50 paint containers, and you open your palette, it's all right there, and you just spray them down and get going. It's just
and you could take this, and I did a class on this. You could take a watercolor, mount it onto a wooden substrate. I would suggest wood, not canvas.
Yeah.
And add glass and resin to this too. It just needs to be sealed.
Yeah.
And you need to really adhere it well. I mean,
easy as cleanup. That's exactly right, Marcia. I get out my watercolors a lot of times if I just have a couple minutes, but I just am itching to paint. And that's one of the things that we're talked with our group about a lot. Get in the miles with the paintbrush. And for many years, I was a digital artist, was away from the paintbrush for a while. And, I'm kind of getting back to the paintbrush, and I missed it so much. But, it's taking me a little bit it's a different beast. It's taking me a little bit of kind of reacquainting myself with all those little things that your brain starts to tell you to do when you're driving a paintbrush. It's,
I miss it too. If I'm doing just a lot of digital stuff, I miss that too. I like everything. I even like doing graphic design in, using the Adobe software. I mean, I'm just one of those people that likes doing a variety of things. Yeah. That's okay as an artist. I know they tell you to niche down, but I like doing everything. I mean, become known for something that you really focus on a lot. It's your mainstay. It's your bread and butter, and be known for that. And then you can branch out and be known for, oh, she also does this. She also does that. And the only reason why you need to kind of niche down is for marketing purposes, in my opinion, so that people need to associate you in some way. They need to kind of categorize you. It's just easier for the general public to think of you as, oh, she's the one that does the glass and resin pumpkins, that lady. It's just easier for people.
But if you're spending a little bit of time painting every day, it will help you in the thing you're known for too. Yeah. So, spend a little bit of time doing these little doodly things, put them in your, do tiny ones that you give as little gifts in your orders. We do that a lot.
That's why I make them. Yeah. I mean, these are just really nice. I can write a little note on the back. Yeah. I could put this in a little sleeve. We talked about that in one of the videos as part of this series. You can go back and look at that. It's really nice to put these in a little sleeve or put it in an envelope. This would look really cute in a bright teal colored envelope. I have them somewhere. I'll probably do that. I'll show you what that looks like.
Or mine either.
And I think that's it.
That's it. My husband's home. I have to go get mad at him for flirting with ladies in their bedrooms.
Okay. That does not sound good, Shelley.
Oh my God. I'll share a picture in the group. You have to see it. It's funny.
I know, I need to see the photo. So we will be back next week at the same time, 6 p.m. Central. I hope that you will join us. Let your friends know about our channel. We are growing strong. We have 150 subscribers now. Yay!
Yay,
So
brand new
thank you so
channel,
much.
so we appreciate that.
Yeah, we really do. We really do. And, you know, we have a little community tab. I tried to share things on there as well. And like I said at the beginning of tonight's video, next week, we're going to, I think what I'll do on the community tab, I'll announce it in here or share something, maybe a short or something. When we have this ready for you, we're going to put this on the website for you to grab as a freebie. And we're going to, you know, so it's a download so that you can do these triads with us. And it's also a palette for you to swatch out your colors and write the names of the paint colors. So we're going to do that next week.
It's going to be fun.
What I think will really be fun. So we're gonna do you know, like a color wheel, and we're gonna do some triad studies, and then I want to take, kind of did it tonight a little bit, come up with 3 colors and do a pumpkin. You know,
That'd be really pretty.
this was kind of pretty much kind of primary. You know,
Yeah.
it's a yellow and a green, and I used a brown and a blue, but you know. And really, I mean, these are limited colors too.
Yeah.
Actually, pumpkins, that's what they are. They're kind of a limited analogous color scheme when you think about it.
Wait till you see the picture, Andy. Go to the group when we leave the live. I'll share my husband's new girlfriend with everyone. Not everyone. I'll just share it just in the messenger.
Not his new girlfriend. Oh my God.
I think she's adorable, and I'm confident enough. I just can't wait to tease him about it. I've already teased him a little bit, so I'm sure he's ready for the little bit of ribbing.
As long as he doesn't have her phone number, as long as he's not getting text messages.
She may be. She, you know, she knows the IT number, so you know, who knows? She might be calling him weekly.
Oh, can I speak to the IT department? I'm having an IT problem.
But I want to talk to the director if you don't mind. I need to go straight to
my friend. We will see you next week, hopefully. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye, guys.